And
Right.
now look at her. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's about manifestation, believing in yourself, which I didn't always believe in myself, but now that I do, you can't tell me nothing. You can't take nothing away from me. I know I'm going to be great. I know everyone around me is going to be great. And that's what inspires me to keep going.
A talk between two or more people in which news and ideas are exchanged. Conversations have the power to inspire, teach, and uplift. Here, we are all about inspiring you to follow your dreams, use your gift, and walk in your purpose. I'm your host, Opiyemi Ifufore, and this is Conversations with Opie. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Opie. My beautiful guest today is Jada. I'm so happy to have you on the show. I love your positivity, your confidence, everything about your aura, and just the way you treat people is definitely something to admire. And it is a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much. I'm excited.
So I wanted you on the show today because, like I said before, I just love your aura. And one of the things I love about you is your confidence. But before we even get into it, can you give us a little bit about yourself, what you do, who you are?
Yes. So, all right. Hi, everyone. My name is Jade. Currently, I am working in retail. I was managing stores and having a good time with it. I'll be going back to school this fall for sports communication through Long Island University and Rock Nation. So I'm super excited for that. And for the most part, I'm a chill girl. I like to model, I like to travel, I like to eat good, and I like to just like spread positivity and meet new people and just have a good time, make them feel good about themselves. So that's that's me. That is me.
So how did you find who you are? You said, that's me. How did you know that this is the kind of person that I want to be and this is how I want to live my life?
I think it started as a kid. My mom was deployed to Iraq. I was about 13 years old. And I want to be a good person because you never know what people are going through, Opie. You never know what people are. So I was like this super happy kid, but at home I was like super depressed. I was super sad. So I was trying to be something to people that, like, wow, people might be going through at that point at 13 years old, you don't know the amount of issues that people are going through, right? But I knew for myself, like, man, I'm really sad. So I want to make other people happy and I want to treat people like how I would want to be treated. So, if they're going through something, at least they know, like, hey, when I see Jade, she's going to make me laugh. She's going to do something silly. She's going to, talk about Jay-Z and, or something, these are the things that just, people like to feel good. They like to laugh. They like to look forward to meeting someone and, having a good time. So I think it all started with my mom, being deployed. I just wanted to make people feel good. And I wanted people to know, like, you're not alone, even though if I don't know what you're going through at home, but I'm going to give you a smile. And
Right.
hopefully if anyone can make your day, my one smile makes your day for the day. So that's how
Right.
I, yeah.
So you were going through something where you were away from your mom, someone who you're very close with, and
Right.
not being close to her. But the thing is that instead of you kind of falling into this depressive state, you basically use that as motivation of helping others feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
Do you believe that making people feel good also kind of helps you out? Does that make you feel good? Does that help
That
you out?
that makes me feel so good. It makes Opie, I mean, when I tell you, like, I was a self-conscious kid. I was, a little insecure. So just making people, and I wasn't like the prettiest, like, so there wasn't guys that's like, oh, Jade, this, but I knew, like, I could make people feel good without, the thick body or being this person that I wasn't. So I just had to take what I had, which was personality, because I always had that, and that was going to be my way to make people feel good, for sure.
And how's that translated for you over the years? Being from someone who's very self-conscious as a kid, how did you build that confidence as an adult and feel beautiful inside and out? Because first of all, you are beautiful, so
Oh
that
my.
that is no question. But how did you now feel confident in your own inner and outward beauty?
It took a while. I want to say I didn't get my confidence until like 2016. So to think that's only like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone finds their time at their time. And I just started taking pictures. I started modeling and I was self-conscious. I was like, listen, I'm going to take photos. And I did it. And as I, put the pictures on my wall, I was like, wow, you are beautiful. And I told myself every single day, you are beautiful, girl. I would look at the pictures and I would share them, with you all on social media. And it was such good feedback. I was like, oh my goodness, they like this picture. They like this. Like, oh, or I'd post a picture, naturally, no makeup. And it would get more attention than the pictures where you're all dolled up. And I was like, wow, so maybe I am pretty. And then you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. And then you just kind of build a confidence. For me, also Aaliyah, a lot of people, a lot of my peers, they're like, oh my God, she's obsessed with her. She's obsessed. But there was such a deeper meaning than, music, or I looked up to her. So you have to have someone that you look up to that's similar to you, maybe in a sense, slim body, a slim face. I was like, she's gorgeous naturally. So I'm gorgeous too. Sometimes, I mean, as weird as it might sound to some people, you have to find something that you can look up to and say, listen, that just like with the Barbie dolls, with us growing up, your parents bought you black Barbie dolls. They might not put white Barbie doll. They wanted you to see a beauty of look, there's a black Barbie, there's a black army Barbie.
Representation matters,
of course. So I think it was super important, little things like that, to make yourself feel good. So I'm still building my confidence, believe it or not. I'm still to this day building confidence every single day.
And how do you separate? You mentioned, you posted pictures online and the feedback was good, but how do you separate, not leaning too much into what others may say? Because we can go down this dangerous line where the approval of others now dictate how we feel about ourselves. So where do you draw the line in which you don't allow too much of an outside influence affect how you feel about yourself?
I think that comes with time. It comes over time. You have to literally sit there and love yourself. And as cliche as that sounds, for me personally, I went from wearing makeup every single day, Opie, every day, to Walmart, to the grocery store, to the gas station. That's how self-conscious I was. And one day I was like, you have to love yourself for who you are. So now, I'm not wearing makeup. I don't need weave to make me feel good. I don't need makeup to look good. You know what I mean? And just feeling good within yourself. Social media is a bonus for me. I put it on there and it gets all this love and it's like, wow, that's great. But I know off social media, off of a filter, I feel good about myself. And it wasn't always like that. But we're beautiful. You have to look in the mirror and say, oh my goodness, I love your cheekbones. Oh my goodness, I love your lips. This is what I have to say to myself. You know what I mean? Because I got teased as a kid for these high, cheekbones and these bigger, fuller lips. And now look, people are getting surgery for these lips and they're getting surgery to structure their face. So there's so much beauty within yourself that sometimes you don't see in other people. The grass is always greener, right? Everyone always, oh my goodness, I wish I was slimmer. Oh my goodness, I wish I was thicker. Everyone wants to be what they're not. So you just have to love who the hell you are. Excuse my language, you have to. Because especially with social media now, they will kill you. If you don't look a certain way, you'll be like, oh my goodness, I wish I looked like this. I wish I looked like that. No, you are beautiful. Do not let social media dictate how you feel about yourself.
I love that. Yes, I 100% agree. So who you mentioned Aaliyah, is that your number one inspiration in finding confidence about yourself, and what draws her to you?
Opie, for the longest, we're coming on her 20-year anniversary. I'm turning 30. So for the longest, I looked up to Aaliyah. She was slim. I watched all her interviews. She was a good person. So people are like, oh, you like the music? I'm like, I do love her music, but I loved her as a whole. Just the way she carried herself, the way that she spoke. I wanted to be just like her as a kid, beautiful, just beautiful inside and out. And when I say that, I want to emphasize on beautiful inside and out. The out was like a bonus, but the inside, oh my goodness, I'm watching all these interviews, just how people reacted to her, how humble. And that's what I want to be like. I want to be humble. I want to be a good person. I just want to be everything like her. As I gotten older, I became more inspired by my mother. She's definitely, you're looking up to someone, you're like, wow, wait, I have an icon at home. You know what I mean? She's iconic to me, my mother. But that's really what drew me to her, was just her confidence and how beautiful she was without having a big butt and big breasts and just a regular, 22-year-old girl that was following her dreams. I think that was really inspiring for me, still to this day. And that I will never take that credit away from her, because I think without her, I don't know what I don't know what I would have done in my childhood years. Honestly, Opie, I do not know if I didn't have, who can you relate to? I didn't have who in the industry did we really have to look at? Girls like me that's who I couldn't look at Trina or Little Kim. We have nothing, I'm not like that.
Right.
So to find someone like her that was beautiful inside and out was probably the luckiest thing that I could have encountered. So I'm really grateful for that.
You mentioned that she followed her dreams. How important is it for you to follow your dreams?
It's so important. And let me tell you, I want to come on here and I don't want people to say, or I don't want people to think like, oh, you just find what you want to do. You find your niche in one day. I didn't find my niche, Opie. I mean, I always knew I want to be an entertainer. I always knew I want to be on TV. I knew that I love to talk to people. I always knew that. But one day I literally woke up and was like, I got to get back into school. I got to do that. I literally woke up like a light switch. Oh my goodness. I just felt like a confidence to go back into, I was like, wait, my purpose, like, this is my purpose. I have to go back. Like, I have to do this. So that was my, following your dreams is everything. And let me also say, I used to look at people like on social media and they'd be rapping and people would come like, oh my goodness, like all these rappers in Middletown, like everyone wants to be a rapper, everybody wants to do this. And now I look at those same people and I'm like, yo, I love it. You're not doing a 9 to 5. You're following your dreams. And it doesn't matter what anyone thinks, that all the songs you make could be horrible to other people, but you're following your dreams. You're getting up every single day and making a song. You're getting up every day and doing this. So don't be mad at them for following their dreams. Right. You know what I mean? What are you doing to follow your dreams? No, you're going to work and you're doing your 9 to 5 and that's fine. But don't be mad at them for hustling and making music if that's what they're passionate about. So I'm all for it. Follow your dreams.
Right. And you have to put in the work. Yeah. And you have to put in the work to the dream. And if you know what it is, you just have to work towards it. How do you not lose focus? You mentioned, like there's some people who are doing 9 to 5, but they have these dreams, but because of financial reasons, they have responsibilities. It's hard for them to see themselves following their dreams without, not being responsible or doing what they have to do. How do you stay focused?
If you can give someone 8 hours to accomplish their dreams, because we're going to 9 to 5 and we're helping them with what they're doing. If you're working in retail, you're there and you're helping them make money. If you have 8 hours to give to someone else, you have 8 hours to give to yourself for your dreams. So if that is, going back to school, if that's working out, make a schedule for yourself. So you're giving yourself the time that you're giving another company for for what they want. They're building something. So build on yourself. So now for me, I have 2 days off. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I start my objectives, super early. So by 9 o'clock, I'm like done. I'm like, okay, what else can I do? Set objectives for yourself and don't lose focus on what you want to do ever. So when I'm going to work, Opie, I'm literally paying for my dream. If that's paying for school, if that's paying for a shoot, if that's paying for clothing for the shoot, you have to think of it like that. You're using that money to fuel your
dreams,
to invest in your dream. So, that's what I do. You have to stay inspired. And, some people don't have the luxury of being able to take a flight somewhere or to, some people think like, oh, you have to go away to get inspired. And no, you can literally walk around and get inspired. I am inspired by the darnest things, Opie, the darnest things, literally. I mean, there's things where you're like, how does that inspire you? But it's just walking around, looking at the trees and just sitting there and just thinking. And I just get inspired by everything.
What do you, you mentioned that this is your purpose. Can you go further into telling us what you believe your purpose is?
So I believe my purpose is to inspire people to figure out their purpose. I want to inspire you to know, listen, it doesn't matter how far-fetched that dream is, you can do it. You can do it. Your purpose is so much more deeper than, the little things, like to find your purpose and to know what your purpose is. Like, I feel like my purpose, honestly, and we'll edit this out because I know I'm chatting a lot, but that's a good point.
This is a conversation. There's no editing. I want to know what you feel.
So the question is my purpose. Let's start over again. What is my purpose, right, Opie?
Yes. What is your purpose?
My purpose is to inspire people. So I want people to look at me in about 5 years when I'm working for Rock Nation, I'm being managed by them. I want them to say, oh my goodness, she did it. She did exactly what she said she was going to do. Her biggest flex is doing what she said she was going to do and accomplishing it. So my purpose right now isn't complete yet. My purpose won't be done I still have a little bit ways to go to find my exact purpose, but for right now, my purpose is to inspire people like, listen, let's follow our dreams. Let's go for it. I'm going to show you, I'm going to personally show you, what manifestation is. I'm going to show you, what happens when you don't give up on yourself, when you don't give up on your dreams, no matter how far-fetched, like I mentioned. And my purpose is just being a good person to people. So even if someone has, a horrible day, they know like, hey, Jade made my day. You know what I mean? If it was just her smile, if it was just her personality, if it was just her complimenting me on my shoe or my shirt or, my Instagram picture or anything, I that's what I want my purpose to be, just being a good person. I just want to be a good person. And I also want to say, I'm not the perfect person. This is the perfect platform to say, I'm not perfect. I do my, everyone, people will come onto a situation, and make it seem like, oh, everything is perfect and I'm just a good person all the time. No, I had my faults, Opie. I've done things where I'm like, oh my goodness, but you learn from it and you keep going. You know what I mean? Just try your best to be a good person. You're not always going to be perfect, but just try your best to be a good person, because people will forget what you said to them, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And I try to always think of that, you know what I mean? Just to keep going. They're going to remember how you made them feel. So make them feel good.
Have you ever been in like you said, no one's perfect, you're not perfect. Have you ever been in a situation where your positivity rubs someone the wrong way, in which they think it's all made up? Has anyone ever felt to you like, you know what? I don't believe what you're saying or how you're doing. And how did you overcome that?
I think a lot of people, when I was in school, Opie, I would tell everyone like, hi, pretty girl. Hi, pretty girl. That was like my thing that I was saying to people. And they'd be like, she's pretty, or you're just saying that. And it was just the most ignorant thing to me, to think like, no, this is me. Like, this is really who I am. Like, this is how I feel. This is how I greet people. And I realized, Opie, that people that say comments like that and don't believe it, that's an insecurity within themselves. That's your insecurity. Don't put how you feel onto me. You understand? So you can't really take it personal. And I think it's also, as you get older, you just realize certain things don't just, forget what they said, forget their opinion. Listen, I'm going to show love. I'm going to give love. If you want to think that it's fake, that's on you. I'll continue to tell you, hi, pretty girl. You know what I mean? That's on you. But don't be mad at me for being positive.
Right. That's so true. There's always going to be, someone who doesn't like you.
Right.
Which is another thing. Like, do you ever, how do you take yourself away from being a people pleaser? Because sometimes you want everyone to be happy. Like you said, I want you to feel good. But how do you kind of make sure that you're not, again, just doing things just to make sure everyone's okay with you or likes you?
I think that's something else that you grow to, learn, because at first for me, I wanted everyone to like me, and when someone didn't like me, I felt like, oh my goodness, like they don't like me. And listen, this is something that I still deal with. I don't really deal with because it's now that you're not in school and you're not, well, I'm going back, but, we live in such a small town. So, when you're going through middle school and then like high school, you want everyone to like you, you're with them every single day. But as you get older, everyone has their own niche, their own career, if you don't want to deal with people, you can get off social media and you don't ever have to see these people again.
Right.
So just knowing, as long as you love you, which I do, and the people around you, your circle love you, and people, who cares? Who cares if they don't like you? So what? That's okay. As long as you don't disturb my peace, I won't disturb your peace. And it's okay. It's okay for not everyone to like you. It is, and that's something I had to learn within the last 3-4 years. It's okay. Not everyone's going to like you. But don't get so like caught up about it and, talk about them. Just, I wish you the best. And just
you're wasting so much energy focused on other people and not your growth or your success or your happiness.
Yeah.
We have to learn to please our own selves and make ourselves happy.
Of course, for sure. Yeah. I agree.
Do you think that our purpose evolves, like we have goals and everything that we set, but do you think that our purpose evolves as we get closer to the goals that we set for ourselves?
For sure. Yeah. I feel like my purpose now, I'm starting to see it more as I get older and as I learn the things that I want to do, my purpose becomes way more clear. 4 or 5 years ago, people would have told me I'm going to go to LIU and it's going to be, Rock Nation partnership. I would have probably said like, no way, like I didn't know what I want to do, Opie. So now that things are starting to fall into place for me, I'm like, okay, I speak now with confidence. I'm going to be managed by Rock Nation. You can't tell me, Opie, that I'm not going to be managed by Rock Nation. You can't tell me that Jay-Z's not going to come, in the door every day and I'm just going to say, hey, Sean, and keep it going. That's
I love it.
That's just what it is, So I'm starting to just think of it like that. Like, this is what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? Like, this is my destiny. This is my purpose. I feel good. I know that Beyonce and Jay-Z one day will just be like friends, like, hey, you know what I mean? You have to speak it into existence. And I think it's so important because I've spoke everything into existence to this day. And I think a lot of the thing I love about my hometown is that people know that. They know that I've been talking about this for so many years. You know what I mean? So I think that they're even excited as well. Like, listen, Jade's been talking about Rock Nation since we knew her. And now look at her. You know what I mean? So it's about manifestation, believing in yourself, which I didn't always believe in myself. But now that I do, you can't tell me nothing. You can't take nothing away from me. I know I'm going to be great. I know everyone around me is going to be great. And that's what inspires me to keep going.
What would you advise others who have not reached your level of confidence yet, who are still self-conscious? Even like you said, as you got older, you built that confidence. What tips or advice would you give them to build on their confidence and get to where they can manifest what they want for their lives?
I would say it takes time. Don't think that it's going to be an overnight thing. It's not an overnight thing, and it's not a race. You're going to find who you want to be over time. Just make sure you believe in yourself. And one thing I learned from Jay-Z was, be the flow, don't go with the flow. So whatever you have to do to make yourself feel good, don't feel like it has to be a certain way. Like it, like I said, Opie, I didn't get a confidence until the last 3-4 years. I'm turning 30 now. You know what I mean? So it just happened for me. And for some people it might happen another 5 years or 6 years. You just have to really believe in yourself. Don't get caught up in like social media. Don't think that you have to be something that you're not. Don't think that you have to change yourself. Just be who you are, and it's all going to come together. And when that niche comes in your head and it you really find out what you're good at and what you want to do, everything will just start to flow. So just believe in yourself. Do not give up on yourself. Do not.
I agree. And I think it has to do with being consistent also with building that confidence. Sometimes people will try a technique, maybe they'll do something, and then because it's not instant, it's not an instant gratification, I'm already there, they don't follow through. And then they get distracted by, oh, I see this person being successful, let me do what they're doing. And then they lose sight of their own path.
Of course, yeah. You can't lose sight of what you want to do. You cannot lose sight. You can't compare yourself to others because someone else's test ain't going to be your test. You know what I mean? So they might find success, they might be 20 years old and they find out what they want to do in their niche and they're successful. And then someone else might take until they're 30 or 35 or 40. Mm-hmm. It's never too late. It's never too late. So just believe in yourself. Believe that, what you want. But first you have to find out what you want to do as well. Like, you have to envision yourself like, listen, I want to be confident. I want to feel pretty. I want to do this. So you have to speak it into existence. Like, just whatever makes you feel good, do it. It's not a race. It's a marathon. Just keep going, keep treading. Don't give up. Don't look back. Don't care what anyone else is doing. And just go, just be the flow. Don't go with the flow.
I love that. For those who want to stay motivated, like I said, I love your aura, your positivity, and you share a lot of that on your social media. I even see the way that you shout out other people and what they're doing to inspire others. Where can others, connect with you and be inspired by what you do?
Okay, so on Instagram, it's going to be Jade Arielle and _. So JADEARIELLE _. And I also mentioned, you said me sharing people as well. Let me tell you, that inspires me too. I love sharing people's successes. That keeps me going. So when I said that I'm inspired by everything, Opie, I'm inspired by everything. You know what I mean? So I love presenting people's, good deeds and good things that they're doing and the success that they're having, and having another platform for, I might have 500 followers that you don't have, but now that I posted you, now you have 500 extra eyes that are going to see, so, and then it would be like, oh my goodness, let me follow her. And then it's just a network. It's all a network. Let's use social media as a positive platform, not just, to post pictures. Like, share people's stuff. If they're opening a shop, share it. They're doing something, they just got married, share it. They just got engaged, share it. It's all good vibes. You know what I mean? It's all about networking and feeling good. Who wants to go on social media and just read the shade room? It's just
exactly. We need the positivity room.
You need it. You need it. Yep. I totally agree.
I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate the time you took and the advice and everything that you shared with us today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure, and I hope that we can do this again.
Absolutely.
I had so much fun.
Thank you so much for everyone for listening as well. Until next time, bye everyone.
Bye.
Enjoyed today's conversation? Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you can stay up to date on the latest episode of Conversations with Opie.